Hey Nour, I'm writing a book. I've decided to have all of my characters say the book's title out loud.
Wait, no, I hate it when characters say the title of the book out loud. It's only 7 ways you're ruining your book.
Did you just... I only gave you 1 way. You just did that in this video. Alright, good talk.
Hey guys, Nour here, and here are 7 ways you're ruining your book. But first, make sure you subscribe and keep on watching because that helps me make more quality videos like this one.
Come on, do it!
Let's get started.
How can you say no to that face? Look at it. Help her.
There are so many rules on how to write a great novel, but we often forget that there are also things that we should avoid to maintain a great novel. For example, you should avoid not sleeping to maintain your sanity. Just kidding, that's advice for a future video.
Sleep is for the weak.
Maybe. Today we're talking about 7 ways you're ruining your book. So let's start off with having great characters but 0 plot or action. Most of us have done this as newbie writers, and if you think you haven't, you're either lying to yourself or you have a sophisticated brain, you genius you. In the early process of coming up with a book idea, a lot of writers like me like to come up with their characters, plan all the details of their lives, think of their backstory, and all the good things. But the issue is when writers stop there and forget to come up with the action and the conflict. So the book starts and nothing happens other than the characters interacting. This is a huge newbie mistake. Another mistake that could be ruining your book is planning out and writing great action, but forgetting that your characters also matter. In this case, the problem is weak characters. You thought so much about your action that you forgot that your characters had to be well-rounded, realistic people. Instead, they're just robot-like with very cliché lives.
Hey, don't make fun of robots. They're just like you and me and they have feelings too.
Do they though?
Yes.
But do they?
Little mechanical feelers.
You have the cliché best friends who claim to be best friends even though they don't have a backstory and no bond. You have the angry antagonist who is angry for no reason, and then you have the love interest whose purpose on the page is to just look pretty. Not planning your characters is just as bad as not planning your action. Your story ends up lackluster before the reader has even read past the first page. Avoid these 2 mistakes like the plague. Another mistake that could ruin your book is if your story starts before the central idea starts. You know what I'm talking about. I know you do. The main character just starts off the story by waking up, brushing their teeth, and getting dressed. For some reason, newbie writers think that this is an exciting place to start their book, as if it's a real page-turner or some big life-changing event. Well, let me tell you, there's nothing more boring. Don't start your story when your character wakes up, unless he wakes up to a gun to his head, because that would actually make a good start. Start your story in the middle of the action or right when something big is about to happen. Is your character about to face her attacker? You could start with that, but never, ever start off with her waking up, going to take a shower, eating breakfast, and that whole boring routine. The 4th mistake that could ruin your book is when your climax isn't even a climax. You know, you get toward the end of your book and your protagonist quickly and easily destroys the antagonist. Yeah, that's not a climax.
That's a cry-max. Because your readers are going to be maximum crying.
No, Michael, that's a smellless fart. A decaf coffee, a Bluebell ice cream cone without the Nutella at the bottom. If you want your readers satisfied all the way through to the end, make the stakes the hardest they've ever been during the climax. Don't leave your characters unscratched. Oh my god, look how great my nails look during this fight! Not a scratch! Which leads me to the 5th mistake, making your conflict too mild. Your life will be so much harder if you don't come up with a strong conflict in the beginning. Otherwise, your story will just drag on without anything happening and without any stakes.
Ooh, steaks. Can I bring chicken too?
Not that kind of steaks.
Maybe some pork chops.
Not that kind of steaks.
Pork belly?
Not the same
Chicken
steaks,
wings.
Mike. You could bring. That's fine.
Ground beef.
Yeah, that's fine.
you're paying.
No. What's at risk here? If the answer is something that doesn't make your characters frightened, threatened, or even emotionally moved, then it's not good enough. You need a conflict you can pile even more conflicts on. The sixth mistake is when you try to keep all your characters in perfect harmony. You want them to be okay in the end. You want to keep their friendships intact and make sure none of them are physically or emotionally damaged. But in real life, people do get hurt and they grow apart from other people, and they don't always live neat little lives with neat little endings. So even if you're writing a happy ever after, don't be afraid to rough up your characters a little. They can handle it. Lastly, don't be afraid to change some events. If something isn't working or you've gotten a lot of negative feedback about a specific scene or event, don't keep it as it is just because you love your writing too much. You'll end up ruining the story. Besides, great writers aren't afraid to kill their darlings. They know that changing a scene to enhance the story, no matter how much they love it, is for the greater good. So there you have it, 7 ways you're ruining your book. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, check out my others, and subscribe.
You should subscribe to Nour. She puts out quality content every Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah, very accurate. You should subscribe.
Do it.
Yes, do it. And remember, Nour for president.